and say, I have this idea, I have this plan, and be able to get the money from these institutions to help you, not loan banks money to bail them out, and then they don't lend that money. What's up with that?
Yeah, they were seriously, if they're there to help us and we gave them this so the country would turn around, like why isn't there a full access to basically, our
Well, I think there needs to be an accountability factor, and people are going to have to be held accountable for their actions, and that's really what's going to happen now, that people are going to have to say, you know what, based on what you're doing, I don't buy into that, and we need to do something about it. And you have to recognize, before you can solve a problem, you've got to recognize it. You can't say, well, there's so many things. No, you start with one, because you can only solve one problem at a time. You can't put 12 on the plate and say, okay, we're going to solve all 12. No, you got to tackle one at a time, and then by the time you get done with number 11, you'll say, okay, let's deal with the following one, which is 12. So it's got to be done systematically, one at a time, and people got to get together and say, I can't do this alone. I need your help. And you know what? There is strength in numbers. People get together, things happen. You multiply, the vibration, you multiply just the ability to get things done. That's what's got to happen across the board. Then you march to a different drum, to what I call the soft parade, where everybody is happily involved in the process for change.
Yeah, it just literally happens on a new level, and we can start to unite with everything. Because out in other countries like China and everything, they take like UFO research seriously, and they really study that. The first queen or first lady of Japan, she is very into that. Putting money into research from Japan, and those countries are taking over there with a lot because
they have morals, they have values, and they have very good judgment of what life should be for humanity in their countries. And because of that, that's where you're going to see, true democracy flourish, when they allow people to think and be able to act accordingly, and to live out their passions and their dreams. And that's what's happening in places like that.
Wow. And that must be why the tides are shifting as well.
Well, that's why now, the Westerners, we don't have it figured out. We think it's all materialistic, and we're finding out it's more spiritualistic than it is materialistic, and some of us are starting to get it. And unfortunately, the dinosaurs who are running things, will be extinct soon, and this is their end run, or their end game, so to speak, and this is their last hurrah. And it's up to us to say, okay, you've had your time. It's time to go. I want you to go. And you can, how fast can you get to the airport? You got to go.
Right. Just like I do in the South American countries. So with the Rockefeller dude the other day, which was pretty amazing. So
is that David? Are you referring to David?
Oh, you heard about that as well?
Well, I don't know which comment.
Oh, because there was a man in South America that, because you know how all the elite, rich Illuminati, or whatever you want to call them, are going to, like Brazil and Venezuela to really, cause they feel like that's the last safe haven. But a guy who was on a major internet channel, and with his camera and everything, really just, and he only had to do to get out. It was one of the older Rothschild men, and he was out there with his, getting picked up at the airport, and then he got recorded, and these people are actually real. Like,
well, what's happened now? There are people that have, put them in the public spotlight. For years back they were hiding in the shadows, so to speak, running things, and now, their faces are out there on People magazine, so to speak. So now they're fearful because they realize that today when you have people that are taking shots at congressmen, senators, whatever, because people are, frustrated. and they're going to react, and as they do, the people who've had their way for a long time will have a lot to worry about. And that's what's happening now. I mean, with the planet being as small as it's becoming, there is no place to really hide.
Right. And they think the forest is really gonna to hide and save them from whatever karma they built for themselves. But on that note, I definitely want to thank you for coming on. I want everyone to know that they can go on to donisays.webs.com and really speak to you one-on-one and really get more info that, because there's so much you could talk about, but I really want people to really start to even go on your YouTube and check the videos out, because all this stuff that we're talking about is like real, and we can make changes now, today. So, if people are looking for someone to speak to about something they have questions about, they could definitely holler at you on there, on Skype, or whatever they can do, right?
That's exactly right. That's why I put it up there, because right now people get the opportunity to be able to voice it somewhere and possibly hear another perspective, another point of view, and have another way to look at something, because it's difficult to see the forest trees when you're frustrated and you're angry. And once you take the emotion out of it, you'll be able to solve the problem. It's the emotion that gets us all hung up, that doesn't allow us to think clearly. And I think once we get clear, we realize that we are all in this together, and that collectively it's going to take all of us together to make the change that we want. Not just lip service, but we need real service, and service is to one another. I mean, that's basically it. I mean, there's one rule, there's a golden rule, and I'll end by saying, if we all followed it, treat other people the way we want to be treated, there'd be no war. People would put down their guns. They realize, you know what, I love my brother, I love my sister, because we are one. We're all connected. The universe is made up of many different diverse nationalities and religions and cultures, and we need to embrace every one of them as though we are one, because in my mind we are all the same. We do all walk the same way, and we do have the same feelings, and we have the same hearts and souls. We have to collectively realize that it's time that we heal the planet, because that's what we need today, because we need to end the ball of confusion.
Oh, yeah. And the planet is just a macrocosm of the healing that we all need inside as well. So a lot of us walking around on this planet. So definitely, Steve, I thank you so much for coming on and just sharing all the great work you do, and how you really just put your everything out there to really inform others, and keep spreading the truth, so we can get out of the matrix.
Well, I want to thank you very much for the opportunity today, and I'm glad that what goes around comes around. We've come full circle from our first meeting, which was unbelievable to begin with, and so it's just going to build and grow, I hope. And again, I thank you very much for today, Pickens, and I thank everyone for listening and tuning in. And if you like what you've heard, just pass it on, and go to my websites and to learn more, and I'll be there if you need me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a really blessed night, and look forward to more of your videos and everything.
I thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There you have it, guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Me and Lord side out, the bitches going wild. 28 no straight, low profile. Suicide on my Russian roulette bet. I put it in your face, bitch.